Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Unfortunately, I am late today. Trying to adjust my sleeping schedule and was a little bit tired and laid down for a nap and, well, just woke up about 10 minutes ago. So good morning. Hey there, Mitch, Mexigirl, Not Sherlock Holmes, Linda H, BB, good to see you all. Welcome to the stream. We're gonna hop right into it because I'm running late. As soon as I can get all the sleepies out of my eyes. Operational information as of 8 a.m. July 7th regarding the Russian invasion. As always, the report starts with glory to Ukraine. The 1,230th day of the large-scale armed aggression of the Russian Federation against Ukraine has begun. In total, 184 combat clashes were recorded over the last day. Yesterday, the enemy launched one missile strike using 4 missiles against the positions of Ukrainian units and settlements, as well as 90 airstrikes, dropping 154 guided aerial bombs. In addition, Russia carried out 6,040 artillery strikes, of which 135 were from MLRSs. They also used 4,589 kamikaze drones to cause destruction. The aggressor carried out airstrikes against the settlements of Zelenskyy, Plavna in Zaporizhia, Lviv in Kherson. And that's all for today. Yesterday, aviation, missile troops, and artillery units of the Defense Forces of Ukraine struck 3 artillery systems, 16 areas of concentration of enemy personnel, weapons, and equipment. And we jump right into the North Slobohansk direction and the deep state map. Zooming in here to Sumy. There we go. Over the past day, 24 clashes took place, basically an assault in every hour. The enemy carried out 19 more airstrikes, dropping 30 more guided aerial bombs, and carried out 344 artillery shellings, with 38 of those from MLRSs. Moving down to the South Slobohansk and Kharkiv areas. Again, over the past day, 24 combat clashes took place in the Kharkiv area. Again, 1 an hour. In the directions of Kemyanka, it's going to be over on this side over here. Kemyanka, there it is. Jumping back over here towards Zelenskyy, which means green. Krasny Pershi. Oh, I thought that was this one here, but apparently I'm mistaken. Oh, I don't know where Krasny Pershi is. I'll have to look that up really quick. Let me get the other settlements out of the way. Oh, no, I don't, because Krasny Pershi's over here. There's a lot of Krasny in Kharkiv Oblast. Sorry about that. Bad joke. Ambarny, I believe that's right up here. Milov, Voschansk, of course, over here, and towards the settlement of Katni. Unfortunately, I'm having to look in wider and wider areas for the settlements. And unfortunately, it looks like I am not going to be able to find it on here. So let's hop over to Google Maps, make sure we know where it's at. Normally I do this off stream beforehand, but I just woke up a little bit ago. Oops. Oh, okay, so it's right there next to my loaf. Let's come up here. And that's why it's not the same spelling. Khatni, Khatni. So same pronunciation, different spelling, right there near our Barney. Okay, now that I know where that one's at, we can move on to the Kupiansk direction, where 7 attacks by the invaders were recorded over the last day. The defense forces repelled the enemy assault actions in the areas of Kendrashivka, right there, Golubivka, Moskovka. That's a new one as well. I'm guessing that name might have changed or is not listed on this map. So we'll have to look that one up on Google Maps as well. But Zelenskyy right there. So let's check out Google Maps again. Moskovka, Kharkiv Oblast. Oh, right to the north of Kupiansk. Mirny? Okay, so Moskovka here. And on the deep state map, the new name of Mirny. That would explain why I couldn't find it. Head. Sorry. Dobry wieczór, Mercy. Well, it's 4 o'clock in the morning in UK. Dirtpat, hello. See if there's anybody else I missed sneaking in. Besides Mertzi and Dirtpat. Oh, Mexi Girl. Did I say hi to you already? I'm not sure. Yeah, quite a different spelling. Caroline Robinson. He shared many ways that Russia is feeling the results of Ukraine's attack. That'd be an interesting watch. I try to cover it a little bit here, but I try to make the stream not about Russia and more about the front lines and try to give you the raw info as it's given to me. Well, as it's out there. Anyways, going on to the Liman direction, where the enemy attacked 30 times. He tried to advance in the areas of the settlements of Grevkivka, Chervony Stav, right here, heading way down to the south to Sierra Brianka, back up to Karpivka, Novi Mir, and last but not least, the settlement of Torsky, right there next to Zarichny, separated by the river. Heading a bit further to the south to Servisk, the enemy attacked the positions of the defense forces 9 times near Girogorivka, Sierebryanka, Vivnivka, and Ivano-Dorivka. Ivano-Dorivka, we have to zoom in for this small settlement to show up. Where was that at? Ivano-Dorivka. Kramatorsk direction. 2 clashes occurred today in the areas of just in Chasiv Yar. Okay. Small advances in the Girogorivka area of Kramatorsk direction. Heading to the south to Toretsk, where the enemy carried out 8 attacks in the settlements of Divlivka, Toretsk itself, Rusinyar, and Yablunivka. Unfortunately, Russians have been making advances in this area quite steadily, but it is costing them a lot of soldiers to make those advances. Moving over to Pokrovsk, and the hottest area of the front for well over a year and a half now. Our defenders stopped 60 attacks by the aggressor in the areas of the settlements of Rozin, Promin, Koltine, Novosarivka, Mirolubivka, Poltavka, Novoekonomishny, Mirny, right there, Lisivka, down here. They're just jumping all over the place today for some reason. Zerozova, Udashny, Gorgovo, Alexivka, that's a new name for me. Let me see if I could hunt that one down really quick. I'll have to look that one up as well. Alexivka. Bolivia. That's another one we'll have to look up. Novo Nikolaivka. I believe it's this settlement right here that is not named on the map at all, even no matter how far you zoom in. There's a couple of those settlements, like this one here is not named. This one is not named. This one is not named. So there's a lot of small settlements right in here that are not just not named on this map. Of course, Prokrovsk, Molodetsky. I know I've seen that one. It's just a matter of I don't remember where. Molodetsky right there. Dashny. I know it's in this area. I just don't know. And Moravka. Oh, we got a lot to look up. So let's go Dashny first. Okay, next to Zaporizhia, south of Novopoltavka. Oh, right there. Okay. I knew Dashny, but usually that's in the Novopoltavka direction. So I apologize about that one. Let's find okay. Philia. Right over here. And last one we're going to be looking for is Alexivka. Alexivka. Looks like Google does not even know where this one is. There's one in Kherson, Kursk, Belgorod, and that's Olegzivka. So this one, it does not look like we'll be able to find where it's at unless they mean Olegzivka. Not the first time I haven't been able to find a settlement. Anyways, moving over to Novopavlivka direction. The defense forces repelled 20 enemy assaults near the settlements of Voskrenska. Right here. Shevchenko just below it. Zaporizhia right there. Zurka, Mirny, Kumar. Coming down to the south a little bit, Novosilka, and towards Novopavlivka itself. Moving over to Guliapol direction. The Russian occupiers did not conduct offensive operations in... Oh, sorry. Guliapol direction. The enemy attacked twice. in the Malinka direction, which is right here. Russian occupiers did not conduct offensive operations in the Orhiv or Dniprovsky directions. There are no signs of the formation of enemy offensive groups in the Volyn and Plzesia directions. Our soldiers are inflicting significant losses in manpower and equipment on the occupation forces, actively undermining the aggressor's offensive potential in the rear. Goes into the losses for today. We'll cover that with a graphic, except that is not covered on the graphic. One heavy flamethrower system of the invaders. I don't know why this isn't covered by any of the graphics that are out there. The one from ZCU, the one from Kyiv Independent, there's several others. They just don't cover the flamethrowers. Like we're not supposed to know that they exist. And we close the report with join the Defense Forces. Razom Pereможemo. Slava Ukraina. I'll get caught back up with chat before we go over. I'm seeing a concerning message, and I want to get back to not Sherlock Holmes saying it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Last message I remember reading, so go from there. Dear Pat, good evening. Oh yeah, the talk in Ukrainian. Yeah, that was quite a different spelling for Moravka and Moskova. Oh, I read that. Okay. Dear Pat saying hello. Buenas noches. Yeah. Sherlock Holmes, love you and your dream witch. I know we all share. Oh God, I misread that. I was like dream witch, like eating a dream. Oh, Mertzy, sinus infections suck. I'm sorry to hear that. How do you know what being smacked in the face with a 2x4 looks like or feels like, Mertzy? Let me know. Andrew, on the side of making more bacon wrapped scallops. So I was trying to find more because I read this. Not Sherlock Holmes. I will not be here to see our beloved Ukraine happy and free, but I will look down from on high and smile. Sherlock Holmes, I'm sorry to you have that belief. I am a strong believer in mind over matter. When I got hit by that drunk driver, I was told I would be lucky to walk again. 3 months being bedridden. I'm not walking great, but I am walking. So please keep us up to date and let us know how you're doing. I'll keep a thought out for you and hope to hear good news from you in the future. Oh, Mertzy, sorry to hear that. Yeah, sinus infection. Yeah. Their pet is making your teeth hurt. Oh, Dear Pat, the sinus infection is making your teeth hurt. Yeah, it sucks. Uh, Bacon wrapped anything is always good. True, true. I got an answer for your sinuses, Mertzy. Hold on, let me go full screen here. So, I mean, that would do it. That would definitely clear your sinuses out, infection and all. Just like a tablespoon of that. uh, Either that or just in a simulation. Well, all caught up with chat. Let's get on to the Russian losses for today. 7-7. Hey, the date is right no matter what country you're reading it in. Total combat losses of the enemy July 7th, 1230th day of the full-scale invasion. Today, Russia lost an additional 1,100 personnel. And just because I like saying it, 1,027,540 casualties that Russia has suffered so far. 3 more tanks, 5 away from 11,000. 7 more armored personnel vehicles. 33 more artillery systems. Again, just shy of 30,000. We'll probably get that tomorrow's report. Probably be 23,000. Well, no, probably won't be 23,000, but could be the 11,000 tomorrow. 2 MLRSs. 233 UAVs. 118 vehicles. And 2 special equipment. And don't forget the heavy flamethrower system that nobody keeps track of for some reason. Heading back to the air alert map. And before we go into that, because I forgot to do this part. Well, summertime sunshine campaign with Chungus and myself. You guys the link in chat and pin that. Ooh. I wish I could say it was tasty, but I don't. It was just a Pepsi burp. Not very tasty. Sorry. We are at 1,314.34 euros with 23 donations. I'm going to take this off screen for a minute. And scoot this over. And that one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh, Rorge. Uh, okay, it's give me a virtual card, which is confusing me here. Da, 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 da. Oh, no, I want here. So 24 donations. Uh, Not coming through yet. I'll have to see, make sure that that goes through as the stream goes on. But new donations since the last time I looked. Uh, Blonde Bombsheller donating another 100 USD. Thank you very much for all the support you give, BB. It is amazing, not only here on Chungus's stream, as well as Greg Terry's and others. Too many to mention. Very, very generous person. Thank you so much for all your support. And I'm sure Ukraine thanks you as well. And also today from Inanna Moose. 18 Aussie dollars. I didn't know they had moose in Australia, but apparently so. Uh, uh, Adam Rounds, I recover fast. I'm like a cockroach. um, BB, try switching over to theater mode on YouTube. I don't know if that works on the phone. If you're watching on your phone, I don't know. But on computer, switching to theater mode tends to take care of that chat lag that YouTube has been experienced lately. Not Sherlock Holmes. Thank you very much, but I have terminal brain cancer. Oh. May get to the new year, but will never get to return to Ukraine to say goodbye to all the beautiful people I know there. I am so sorry to hear that, Sherlock Holmes. Keep fighting, though. Don't give up. Every day is a victory, just like Ukraine. Everybody expected Ukraine to fall in 3 days. And then they got stuck in Irpin and Bovary. And then they had to retreat. And Ukraine's chased them back to Belarus, back to the border, and back across the Oskil River. And it has taken them 3 years to get back to these positions. And this is supposedly the second largest army in the world, second best army in the world. And this is pretty much all surprise attack gains that Russia has at this point. No, never give up. Borrowing from Think Ukraine a little bit there, but yeah, never give up. Oh yes, I've been meaning to update that because the quantities have gone down. I just have not done it in a while. And the wish list. I am collecting until the end of this month. If you have the ability and wherewithal, so looking for bleed stop powder, Cat 7 tourniquets. I can't change the quantity apparently because I just don't see it right here. But all the quantities are like down to 1, but they don't disappear. So anything you can send, the bleed stop powder, cat tourniquets, uh, chest seals, and compression bandages. The thing I would like the most is, of course, the tourniquets. We need 4 of these per soldier. The bleed stop powder, 1 box provides for 2 IFACs. Chest seals, again, 1 per IFAC. And Israeli bandages is 2 per IFAC. So this one's the one that is in the most need. And it, unfortunately, is the most expensive. Probably because it is the most needed. But yes, soldiers are recommended to have 4 tourniquets, at least 2 packages of bleed stop, 1 chest seal, and 2 compression bandages. There's other things in the kit, but those are actually cheaper to purchase in Ukraine than here. So I will be spending money over in Ukraine to get the other stuff, some of the other stuff, or just give it to Helena that's making the IFACs because she gets them at bulk deals. But that's a secondary thing. Let's try and get this vehicle for the 5th Border Guards. Oh, there we go. Looks like it updated finally. Did the wall update? Yes, Canty Luden, that weird guy right there. Mitch Ashdown with 81 Canadian dollars as well. Thank you very much. So that brings us up to $1,469.50 with 25 donations. Let's check in with the major overall campaign. $197,063, or excuse me, euros. 23,000 left to go. Basically, our truck would be half of that. Me and Chungus came in late to this community fundraiser, and in less than a week, we've moved up to 10th place. Nipping on the heels of Tanya Fiona. I'd love to be able to get this done before the campaign closes out. So let's work on this first, and then the Amazon wish list stuff later, if at all possible. I would appreciate that. I just want to get as much as we can raise before the goal is met and the fundraiser is closed. Again, thank you so much on that one. I should have kept that open, but I can open it up later. Are you? Oh, Sherlock, you are a light in this channel every time I see you. Yeah. So, BB, glad you're here. Glad you're here, Sherlock Holmes, as well. I am so happy you're here as well. Definitely never stop caring about Ukraine. Yeah, David, when I get closer to going over to Ukraine, I'm going to switch over to PayPal for donations, and we'll be passing on donations directly in Ukraine. PayPal to my Ukrainian bank account to those that need. So yeah, if you want to hit up, if you want to donate for purchases in Ukraine, send it to giveagainua@gmail. That's the one for that. Anyways, getting sidetracked here. I hate asking for donations, and it seems like I just had to do that for a long time, and I'm embarrassed. Is the translate function working? No. So let me pull up DeepL on my other monitor. DeepL, so much better than Google for translation, uses AI to help translate it correctly. 8 stages of a major exchange since the beginning of June. Hundreds of our people have returned home. Our young people, defenders of Mariupol, those who held the line in Donetsk, Zaporizhia, Luhansk, Kharkiv, Sumy, Chernihiv, and Kyiv Oblast. The wounded, the serious ill, those who were considered missing in action, most of them have been in captivity since 2022. And not only military personnel, Ukraine also had civilians returned. This is the result of efforts of a large team from Ukraine. We are continuing and will work until everyone returns home without exception. And here's the video to go with that. Go on the right screen.
Сотні українських героїв вдома.
А сестра, я в Україні.
Це результат зусиль, які доклала велика команда України. Наша держава повернула з російського полону своїх людей. Тих, хто захищав, тих, хто чекав, тих, хто витримав. Молодші за 25 років. Тяжко поранені і важкохворі.
Я вже вдома, вже в Україні. Не хвилюйся, все буде файно.
Воїни Збройних сил, Національної гвардії, Державної прикордонної служби та багато інших. Тих, хто тримав оборону в Донецькій, Запорізькій, Луганській, Харківській, Сумській, Чернігівській та Київській областях. У Маріуполі. Більшість з них були в полоні понад 2 роки. Багато ще з 2022 року.
Дякую вам.
Увесь цей час на них чекали рідні та близькі. Усі українці та українки.
Ми маємо повернути і обов'язково повернемо всіх. По кожному прізвищу ми працюємо. Потрібен обмін всіх на всіх, щоб кожна сім'я дочекалась своїх.
There has been 8 groups of Ukrainians returning home in the last 2 months. Zelensky's speech from yesterday, signing the new sanctions package, targeting numerous The sanctions package targeted numerous Russian financial schemes, cryptocurrency one of them. The sanctions were also introduced at the initiative of the National Bank of Ukraine. I'll come back to that. This is rescue operations last night in Donetsk, Dnipro regions. In Kharkiv, debris is being cleared after strikes on residential high-rise buildings. 27 people injured, including 3 children. The youngest, a girl, was only 3 years old. 3 people were hospitalized. Unfortunately, 1 person died in Odessa. My condolences to the family and friends. Russia struck Ukraine with 101 drones, the vast majority of which were Iranian Shaheeds. Many regions have been affected, and in many of them, air raid sirens are sounding again in the morning due to strike drones. In total, over the past week, there were about 1,270 drones, 39 missiles, and almost 1,000 guided aerial bombs. That was good timing on finishing reading that. And then Zelensky's address for today.
Бажаю здоров'я, шановні українці, України.
I wish you health, fellow Ukrainians. I held a staff meeting today. Reports on the front, primarily the Pokrovsk direction and Novopavlivka directions, as well as the Orkhiv direction. The Sumy region, and separately our actions on the Russian territory near the border in Kursk and Belgorod regions. The occupiers will not feel safe there. We had a very detailed discussion about drones. We must significantly increase the use of all types of drones that help directly on the front lines. We will increasingly rely on drones and technological solutions. And hold back the Russian assaults and enable our active operations. I am grateful to everyone advancing this field and developing the necessary solutions. We are also continuing our work to counter airstrikes. Everything related to air defense is today our top priority: air defense systems, missiles for them, and drone-based air defense. We are also preparing new agreements with partners and expect to formalize them in the coming weeks. Step by step, we are closing the funding gap for the production of drones and interceptor drones, and filling Ukrainian production lines with specific orders. At the same time, we are working with partners to ensure that production in their countries operates at full capacity, as well, both for our shared defense today and for our partners' arsenals after the war. We are engaging with all leaders and countries that can help through investment, components, or manufacturing. This week we are preparing a meeting with the members of the Coalition of the Willing as part of the recovery conference to be held in Italy. Ukrainian representatives will have a concrete set of tasks focused on immediate defense, the defense of our cities and our communities. Everyone in the world can see how much Russia is relying on the use of Shahed drones. They have few options left to prolong the war, and Russian-Iranian drones are one of those few. I thank everyone who is helping us counter these attacks. And of course, I thank everyone supporting our defense. against Russian missiles. We are working in particular with the American side on the relevant decisions regarding Patriots and missiles for them. We're also preparing relevant meetings this week in Italy. I instructed Ukraine's Minister of Defense to prepare the next Ramstein meetings in various formats. And today I've already discussed several options with the UK Prime Minister Starmer. The UK, along with Germany and other partners, is currently keeping Ramstein operational. And in August, September, we expect... Hold on, let me back it up. We very much expect the format to deliver new steps for our Ukrainian resilience. I spoke with Ukraine's Minister of Foreign Affairs about a special meeting with Ukrainian ambassadors. This meeting will take place in just 2 weeks. I absolutely expect concrete results for each region. First and foremost, regarding sanctions against Russia, support for Ukraine's defense, and drawing our partners' attention to recovery projects in Ukraine. I spoke with the president of the National Council of the Federal Assembly of Switzerland. I backed it up way too far. Federal Assembly of Switzerland. She was on a visit to Ukraine today. It is important that Switzerland supports sanctions pressure on Russia for the war, and we must continue to enhance everything that limits Russia's ability to wage war. We discussed with the Swiss representative the return of Ukrainians from Russian captivity, in particular, our Ukrainian children who are currently being held by the Russian system. Ukraine counts on Switzerland joining the international coalition for the return of Ukrainian children and engaging in joint efforts with Ukraine and the coalition members. I also want to recognize today Ukrainian law enforcement officers, the National Police of Ukraine, as well as the prosecutor's office. They promptly investigated the circumstances of the explosion in Zhytomyr region. The explosion where 2 people were killed. My condolences to their families. More than 80 people were injured, and many houses were destroyed or damaged. Procedural steps are already underway. Formal suspicions have been issued. The perpetrators must be held accountable, severely and rightly so. One more thing. We do not forget our fallen warriors. We honor their memory and award them with state decorations. I've just spoken about 3 such men, Ukrainian warriors. Military pilot Colonel Dmytro Fisher, Azov fighter Nazary Hrinsky, and the warrior of the 3rd Assault Brigade, Vitaly Karvatsky. The documents are being prepared to confer the title of Hero of Ukraine, sadly, posthumously. Glory to all our warriors, glory to Ukraine, and of course, Heroam Slava. Uh, Siri Mar, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I definitely have big ambitions, and I need to get over there. America is falling down fast. Delete that chat. A lot of videos have been backed up over the last 2 days. I slept pretty much all of yesterday. Let's hop into my favorite channel, Volna Ukraina, where the boys show us their videos. Ukrainian MLRSs at work. Just floating down the Dnieper River in Kyiv. Of course, they're out on a boat, and boating is illegal right now for civilians. So that's a military air boat going to capture that drone.
Ships on vigor of the waves are skimming, barren summits to the verdant plains. Each horizon is a new beginning, rise and rain. Far from the fjords and the ice-cold currents, brave and soar over new frontiers. Songs and sagas of a fate determined, shields and spears.
I wish I could say more about this video, but there's some things I cannot talk about. It's just interesting to see that perspective. That's the most I can say. Oh God, it's been so long since I've read French, David. Mortar position. Sending a few rounds downrange. Showed you guys this one a couple days ago. So freaking cool. Basically, a tiller, they put wheels on the tiller, connected like a wheelbarrow setup to the back end of it, pointed it at the Russian trench, gave her some gas, and strapped down the go button or lever, and off she is with 9 anti-tank mines strapped to the thing. That's going to make a big boom. I can't wait to see one of those go off. Ukrainian engineering at its best. Good camo on that gun. It looks like it's part of the tree.
Держите, пидоры! Ой, там! Ага, блядь, я уже зарядил, сука. Вот, разбито, да.
Last video of that one. Let's see what's going on. 46 gun review. Can't play that. YouTube gets mad. Taking out bridges. Engineer, just a picture. 3rd Assault Brigade's Engineer Division. You know, these are the guys clearing mines, building bridges, building fortifications for 3rd Assault Brigade. A lot of respect for these guys. They don't get the attention that they deserve sometimes. You know, goes for the CBs too. Let's just skip all of that. Special Forces, see what they have to show us today. Not sure I could show that. Training photos. Unfortunately, translation is not working on Telegram. They messed up something somewhere. A Special Forces group entered from the rear and carried out successful raid on the border with Russia. The border, rain, enemy concentration, those are not obstacles, but rather normal working conditions for the operators of the Special Forces. Yeah, can't see crap without the thermals. This is how important thermal sights are for
Ми тут чуть ззаді вас, акуратно. Підходимо на візуал.
Thank you for blurring so I don't have to close this.
Прилетіло в шию. Марш тут не поможе.
gruesome, but that is unfortunately war. Vladimus. Good night, Anton. Have a good one. McPigeon, hey there. BB, can you answer Haji's question for him? Riddick Group from Omega Special Forces. Let's see what this says. Every day on the front lines, our defenders face various challenges. One day, while driving to their position, special forces from the Omega Group were forced to conduct an emergency evacuation after an enemy mortar shell hit their vehicle. Here is that video.
На сколько часов? Пошли.
And sadly, that is the fate of many of the vehicles, even the ones we fundraise for. You know, I've heard vehicles lasting 2 days. I've heard vehicles lasting since the beginning.
Живой?
I think the train route through Crimea was struck again. Train was struck. Some meltdown. I haven't heard about that yet, but I haven't caught up in the videos for like 2 days. I am doing it live with you guys as we go through them. Oh, you're going island hopping. You know they exist. Have fun. Not Sherlock Holmes. It's funny you mentioned the Shire in the Hobbits. So the village of Hobbit Hill. Uh, them building it. Uh, Ukrainian Stonehenge as well. Let's just go images here. That's Bosnia. So um so that village is here in Ivano-Frankish. And it's in one of these, I can't remember which one, but it's in one of these valleys to the north of this city. I just Hobbit Hill. Okay, that's interesting. So this is a place you can just visit. Kind of like a theme park. And that is right here in Ivano-Frankish. But I know there's let me go back. Maps. No, that's not. I don't want the bear sanctuary. Working on Ivano-Frankish. Ivano-Frankish. Working on. Okay. They may have removed the landmark for it, but it's in one of these valleys, and I think it might be. Nope, not that one. Oh wait, yeah, it is this one. It used to be a hiking trail and other stuff in there too, but it looks like they've removed the site from the village. But yeah, you just go up this little hallway or valley, And this whole little valley section right here was turned into a hobbit village. Anyways, I just thought that would be an interesting little rabbit hole to go down. You know, since we were talking about well, hobbits. I'm gonna have to run to the restroom, but so much water drink today. We have been in many difficult situations and understand perfectly well how a bucket of sweat shed during training saves a lot of blood on the front line. This is why we always hone our skill at the training ground at the first opportunity. So, a bit of training footage from Omega Special Forces Unit.
Що ти, блядь, залягаєш, сука?
And I'll be right back.
Хто заліг, блядь? Якого хуя ви позалягали, Олег? Якого хуя ви не тримаєте небо, блядь? Давайте, швидше, блядь! Якого хуя не тримаєте небо? Давайте, я ваша підсвідомість і ваш страх. Мене не слухайте. Давай, блядь. Тьома, обережно, тихо. Давай, Марин.
Давай.
Давайте, розпочинайте евак! Хто загубив зброю, блядь? Давай, зброю повертайся, забирай! Не стріляйте через дим!
Granny ordered me there for Easter near that village, had my Vishavunka ready for church. Sadly, she passed away, but the aunties still have it. Oh, that's cool. You know, after the war, there's a lot of opportunities for businesses in Ukraine. Zoom out so I could get over quick. One area that popped into my mind when I saw the name was this village here. You know, it had a beautiful overlook of the Novokakovka Reservoir. You know, not that far from Kherson and or Zaporizhia for regional airports or international airport. But with that name, in English, you know, in Ukrainian, it's a little mundane meaning, but you know, if you ever wanted to start a wedding chapel, you know, this little area right here, overlooking the reservoir, you know, just like some picnic tables, a little viewing area to look out over the lake. maybe even like a dock or something to send ship, go out on the boat, or, wetting out on the reservoir beforehand. That would have been a great industry right there. Get married in My Love Ukraine. That was one of the first ones I thought of. Unfortunately, that's what the area looks like now. Um, and I thought that would be a good one. The one I really would like to do is up here in Chernihiv or Zhytomyr towards Korston. In this area, not in this area, but either over here or here, is start a tree nursery. Grow seedlings for a year or two and send them out to be planted. And I mean, there's so many forests that have basically been annihilated because of this war. This forest was almost completely gone. I'll say was, because there's been a group in Kharkiv going out and replanting trees in this forest. I'd love to be able to supply that group with seedlings, saplings. But I don't know how that mosquito got in here, but it's no more. Over by Liman in the Seribyansky forest. This forest is almost completely gone. There's still pockets, but it's just been devastated. And you see the pictures from the tree lines and the videos. It's just all blown away. I'd love to be part of re-greening Ukraine. Okay. I had some on the wall, but the nail bent and fell, and I need to redo my frame of Ukrainian currency, as well as postage stamps and other stuff I've collected while I was in Ukraine last time. I have to redo that one. I have to make another one. So much stuff to do, so little time, and apparently so much sleep I have to have. A little 19-second video. Oh. Let me get the translation. Oh, they already have it. Enemy drone hit the car of Special Forces fighters that was going on mission. Unique footage was captured by one of the fighters of Omega Special Forces, who was sitting in the cabin of a Rochelle armored car. The entire group of fighters was at the epicenter of the explosion. Luckily, all the fighters are alive after the successful extraction. The fighters of Omega completed their mission. You know, they're so family focused in the Omega Group. They're always posting videos and pictures about family events for their loved ones back home, and they bring us along with them. Oh. So let's check what this one is about.
Last year, I was in the same club, walking around lonely like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't get a date. Couldn't get nobody to dance with me. I was too skinny, too something. And now he's just adorable. He's just
I bet you got it twisted, you don't know who to trust. So many player hating niggas trying to sound like us. Say they ready for the bump, but I don't think they know it. Straight to the depths of hell is where those cops going. Well, all you still down, nigga, holler when you see me. And let these devils be sorry for the day they finally free me. I got a caravan of niggas every time we ride. Hitting motherfuckers up when we pass by. Until I...
No, it was not there before. To answer your question, the same question I have. That is all from the Mega Group. Let's check K2. Adam, you need to try this. So, interesting video from K2. Let's check, see what Third Assault has for us today. Yeah, I can't show that one. YouTube would have a fit with the aftershot. Let's try this one. You know what would be a good song for one of these videos is the Wipeout. Insignia award ceremony. Let's skip over that. Let's come to Madiar. You know, his Angry Birds definitely putting in work. 39 artillery pieces, 10 tanks, 14 armored personnel vehicles, MLRSs, mortars, automobiles, I'm not sure what that is. Antennas, generators, fuel trucks, motorcycles, orcs, cars, buildings, command posts, hangars. Yeah, I'm not sure what all of those are, but I mean, hitting a ton of bunkers and supply depots and other things, drones. Definitely doing a lot of work from the 3rd to the 5th of July, just the weekend. I have a feeling we've seen this one already. This is the guy surrendering, but maybe not just the same area. Just napping in the field, going for the belly button. Oh, can't do that. Yeah, Madiar's videos need to be censored. Got caught in the Constantina wire. Oh, that guy fell to pieces, literally. Yeah, I can't show the rest of that one either. Let's see what Dennis has thrown out there in the last couple days. New video for members. OPEC increasing production. I've already read about that. I didn't really talk about it much. But OPEC is increasing production this month and next month to drop the prices of oil, which is not good for Russia. So thank you, OPEC. Iran, Israel conflict. Putin confided that Trump will not punish him for massive strikes on Ukraine. Yeah. Freaking Trump. Elon Musk is in envy about the new Russian motor design.
Тележка ТТ с рулем, с сидушкой и приспособлениями для вывоза 200-ков и 300-ков. Работает, пацанам помогает. Он аккумулятор выведен, даже 2 отдельно. Ноу-хау от нашего батальонного автопрома. Амортизаторы добавили сюда, чтобы плавненько все ходило. Пацаны рукастые, знают толк.
I mean, if that trailer's rocking, you're going to see what's going on anyways, so...
Одно колесо вперед едет еще. Все переключается. Вот вперед, а вот назад.
Hey, it's even electric.
Такая вот тема, так что пора нам уже.
Coming from Tesla soon. Russia is expanding military presence in Armenia. Rising tensions with Azerbaijan. Again, let's go deep state map. Armenia, Azerbaijan. Russians are arresting Azerbaijani citizens in the Russian Federation. Have been doing it for almost a week now. But again, this is the border Russia wants to have, because it controls the gap between the two seas. Just like Russia wants to reach here, because that river controls the gap between the Carpathians and the sea. Just like Russia wants here, because it controls the gap between the Carpathians and the Baltic. And of course, Russia wants here because, well, they want the Baltic as a defense perimeter. Just saying. You see it working out every time, step by step. And people just don't seem to recognize that Russia won't be happy unless it subjugates twice their population. Gas pipeline, Elon Musk, yeah, whatever. Only normal president of the U.S. for the past decades, unfortunately. More Russian planes. You know, Dennis is always good at finding the aviation news. Russian forces in the Kherson front are complaining about a new guest in the night sky. Ukrainian high-speed unmanned bomber delivering precise strikes on their positions. video from Russian thermal imagery. I can only hope Russia continues this ability to aim, or inability to aim. Moscow, that was yesterday. Anything interesting today? Looks like that's it from the Special Forces group. Just the photos of the river op. And finally we get to Warriors Ukrainian. The drones for yesterday. 157 drones launched, 96 shot down by air defense, 19 suppressed by electronic warfare, 0 of 4 S-300 missiles. Again, the S-300 systems were designed as an air defense system, supposed to shoot down planes, and Russia is launching them at cities. Kaluga at night, Novorossiysk, looks like a boat went boom. Consequences of the night attack by enemy drones. Kyiv, Zaporizhia, and Kharkiv. Naval forces. The unfurling of the largest Ukrainian Navy flag. And this was yesterday. Kremenchuk and Mykolaiv under UAV attack. Kremenchuk, they hit the military registration office. Some drone on drone action. Gotta love the drone on drone. Kherson, Kharkiv, rescuers were eliminating the consequences of the shelling, and they got attacked. Yep. Field depots being detonated by drones in Donetsk. Oh. Make me a believer. Believer. Make me a believer. Believer. Imagine Dragons being such a strong supporter of Ukraine. Love hearing their songs in these videos. Results of a HIMARS strike on Russian military deployment facility. Oh gosh, Sonia. Come on, Sonia. Come on. Come here. What's up? What's up? Even with Mama home, you still want to come up here and, Mama keeps taking trips. She's going to lose her dog. Civilian infrastructure damaged in Mykolaiv, including burger joint. This is the results of the Russian strike. And then you see the burger shop in yellow there. Oh, Sonia, I gotta get. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Fox News commentator Dan Hoffman, massive Russian strike in Kyiv was no coincidence. It came right after Putin's call with Trump. And, right after that strike, Putin saying that America said they won't punish him. Of course, the floods in Texas, Ukrainians very concerned about world events. They posted this when the death toll is 32. It's gone much higher since then, unfortunately. Moment of the Sheed strike in Kremenchuk. Did you wake up Mama when you left? Oh, let's see. The most expensive burger on that menu is 200 hryvnia. So about $5. A pretty cool compilation there from the Flying Skull Battalion. Aviation chaos in Russia because all the airport closures. Bus accident in Hungary. 19 injured, 17 of whom are children from Ukraine. The injured were hospitalized. Ooh. More on the plane crashes. You ready to go? Or you want to stay? Sonia? You can go. Here you go. I thought you wanted to go. No, you. She has a thing for socks. So she just went down, pulled the socks off my feet, and wants me to play tug of war with my socks. We watched that one already from Zelensky's office channel. Enemy electronic warfare station goes boom. Mr. S. Oh, maximum luck. An enemy FPV drone on fiber optic hits a Ukrainian infantryman right in the head. Fortunately, does not detonate. I need this guy to buy me a lottery ticket. Very, very rare and lucky video. Well, Russian convoy heading towards Sumy. Pretty good image of what should be in an IFAC. Of course, tourniquet, tape, scissors, gloves. I think that's epinephrine pen, compression bandages, space blanket. I forgot what that is. I don't remember the translation. Chest seals. That's the stop bleed powder. Eye patch and other utensils. Again, most of this stuff is cheaper to get in Ukraine than here in the States. But those 4 things I found are actually cheaper here. Got her face trimmed and now she looks too cute to be mad at. Trying to figure out what she's chewing on. Worm Busters. Who you gonna call? Bang, boom, zow, right in the tuchus. There's 2 strikes. The 3rd is out. Definitely out. Ouch. Well, Worm Busters. Russians showing off footage of their drones targeting Ukrainian rescue workers. If you can't terrorize the civilians, terrorize those trying to help civilians. Can't show that. Power plant in Kyiv was struck today or yesterday. Dnipro district of Kyiv partially without electricity after that explosion yesterday. More and more videos are starting to surface of Russian deserters being chained to a leash and forced to go on assault. Yeah, he's going to help the assault a lot with his hands tied behind his back. Trying to get through this as quick as I can. 143 more videos to go. Or post, I should say. MiG-29 carried out an airstrike in the north with a hammer bomb. Ooh, taking out half the building. And that's why they call it the hammer. As half that building disappears. Russians used a Gerber decoy drone to hit a civilian target in Donetsk. Dachny, Dnipropetrovsk region. July 2nd, Russian armed forces enter the village. July 6th, AFU clear the village. So there's the Russians getting in there on the 2nd. And Ukrainians in the same spot a couple days later. Ballistic threat in Odessa yesterday. Drone footage from the 5th Mountain Assault Group. Firestarter, that's a song I haven't heard in a while. Oh. Buy a motorcycle. Psychosomatic, insane. Gifts from the sky for lonely occupiers. Some cool jazz. Crazy dog. So thank you, Azov, for that smooth jazz. The enemy's new self-propelled gun was struck in the Kursk region.
У нас был налет в Сибири. Стоит КамАЗ четырехосный военный с установкой пушка. Пушка огромная. Не доехал до своего места назначения, разбили его по дороге. Жалко.
Little greedy dog. She's running downstairs, grabbing food out of her dish, bringing it up here and stashing it under my bed so my mom gives her more food. Russian drone with a fork hunting for our UAV. Okay. So the Russians running out of explosives that much that they have to put a trident on their drones to attack Ukrainian drones. I guess it works in getting it out of control and taking it down, but second army in the world using a fork to hunt drones. Saw that video already. The consequences of that strike on the civilian house. Minus Russian TAWs in Slontsevok.
Locked in here. This is it. Locked in.
Now you must lock in.
Adam Rounds says, when they talk about... Sorry, let me close that. When they talk about numbers of Russian casualties, do you really think those numbers are inflated? I don't. I know those numbers are not inflated. they have to be backed up by video. Yes, somebody has that job in Ukrainian army to sit here and watch all these videos and confirm all the kills. There's a group of them. Some of these videos that we see, I fear for their mental health from watching these videos 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, if not more. Yeah. Considering all these, I shouldn't say all, but most of these strikes are by drones or under surveillance of drones. So there's video evidence of every single hit. I think the only people that have more video right now than the Ukrainians of hits is YouTube. The U.S. is not moving away from Europe. The U.S. expects the Europeans to take care of their own defense on a larger scale. Trump may announce a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip tomorrow. That'd be today. I didn't hear about that. I didn't look for it, but Trump heads for D.C. after signing the Texas disaster declaration. Yeah, Greg covered this perfectly. Had a good call with Zelenskyy. Very disappointed with Putin, but it's Biden's war. And here we're coming into today, strike on Kharkiv this morning. Strike in Odessa. Yeah, it does wear on you, Adam. Thankfully, I have a mindset that allows me to watch it without being affected too much. I still have nightmares about my old job, but not about this stuff. LG Teku, what were you going to say? As the Finnish sniper once said when asked what he felt when he shot a Russian, he replied, recoil. That's a good one. Seven explosion in Krasnodorsk chemical plant in Moscow. Moscow is starting to feel the effects of the war, thankfully. In the early morning, Ukrainian drones attacked the Krasnodorsk chemical plant 540 kilometers from the border of Ukraine. Russian airports lost about 20 billion rubles from flight cancellations due to drone attacks on July 5th and 6th alone. Keep it up. Airlines are definitely a huge moneymaker for governments. Most of what you pay for a flight is fees and such, fees, taxes, and other stuff. The flight is actually really inexpensive compared to all the fees imposed by the local governments, federal governments, so on and so forth. And finally, we are caught up to this morning. Well, technically yesterday morning, because it is 8:30 a.m. in Ukraine. So this was yesterday morning. 101 Russian drones, 58 shot down, 17 suppressed by electronic warfare. Unfortunately, 0 of 4 S-300, S-400 missiles, so 4 out of 4 got through. Kharkiv, enemy hit residential area with drones. 8th floor of a 9-story building on fire. And there, the rescuers are cutting the doors on the apartments to rescue people from the attack. A whole herd of drones has been attacking Zaporizhia since the morning. 10 people have been injured.
А там что? Не, ну хотя да, там второе.
Such is life in Ukraine at the moment. First footage of the consequences of the Russian attack on Zaporizhia. You know, obviously just private residences. Oh, and a university. Drones hit Zaporizhia Polytechnic University, a hole in the building. The city is under massive attack by UAVs. Footage again from Zaporizhia this morning. Six shaheeds hit in 10 minutes in Kharkiv. Hit residential areas, cars, and people. 11 injured in Kharkiv this morning. Oh, 810th Marine Brigade. 440 people entered Krinsky, 200 left. 500 people entered Kursk, 40 left. That was Russians write about their losses during operations in Krinsky and Kursk region. So you still, you're asking about casualty reports being true. Over 50% in Krinsky, and 40 out of 500 leaving Kursk. Oh darn, Russians stuck at the airport. No, cry me a river. Fuck you, Lazarov. strike drones of the Alliance Division of the 225th Separate Assault Regiment are operating day and night in the forest and in the open area near Kindrathivka. The Russians will not hide. In 18 days, destroyed more than 140 Russian soldiers. Well, you know this is an American saying because, replying to you guys in chat, better to prevent than try to cure. Well, the saying in America is an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Russia turned off mobile internet in Kamianka to protect against possible drone attacks. The region is located 7,500 kilometers from Ukraine, over there next to Alaska. Russia's really afraid of those container attacks that were carried out during spiderweb assault. Again, talking about the chemical plant. The hell? So this is a Russian drone, and that is not a drone. That is a crane. Repelling of Russian infantry attacks across a field in Kupiansk direction.
Випегі 18, ще 3 секунди будеш кричати тут простіть, дура, прийди в себе, тут тобі не Пітер. Ціль в моїх очах, рани крові, я вільний, гранату тобі, чи наступному твій такий вам вибір. Як чи на дворі, ми йдемо за вами хворі, на помсту, на смерті, на кулі, тут фініш вашої долі. На полі бою кращі друзі, гармати не узі, та духи на пузі.
Pelican or crane or Stork. I'm not sure which one. That was a really grainy video. Couldn't really tell.
Ще 3 секунди будеш кричати тут простіть, дура, прийди в себе, тут тобі не Пітер. Ціль в моїх очах, рани крові, я вільний, гранату тобі, чи наступному твій такий вам вибір. Біжи, 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 біжи. Ти ще біла лада.
Yeah, I wish he'd do that to himself. I can't repeat that because, well... Adam Rounds thinks the mega party has been Russianized. I mean, the mega party is all about Trump. And you look at Trump's history. Every time he was facing bankruptcy, he'd take a trip to Russia and come back with boatloads of money and buy another business that he ran into the ground and failed at. Everybody says Trump's such a great businessman. He's not. His wealth has gone down. He has a lower net worth than when his father passed away and handed him the family businesses. Think about that. How old's Trump? When did his father pass away and hand him all the businesses? This was what 40 years ago? $10 million 40 years ago is how much in today's money? And he has a lower net worth than when his father handed him, passed away and gave Trump all the businesses. I'm sure his net worth has gone up quite a bit since he has been in office. Charging $5 million for a meeting with him, a one-on-one meeting. $1 million to have dinner with him in a group situation. The Trump's crypto scam. I guarantee you his net worth has gone up substantially with all the crap that's been being pulled as president. The largest grift ever in American history, and we do not even know the full extent of it yet. Video from Dashny in Dnipropetrovsk. 37th Marine Brigade. So that is where the Russians showed off their flag on the 2nd, and here's Ukrainians coming in, clearing it. And putting up the 37th Marine Brigade flag. And saluting the drone watching them. Yeah, this was touted on Russian channels as such a huge victory, taking over Dashny, and it lasted all of 4 days. And give you guys an idea. Let's see if I could find Dashny on the map here. Donetsk, Bogatar. Should be right in here somewhere. Right there. This is the great Russian advance, taking Dashny for 4 days. My town here in the States is bigger than this. My town has less than 70 people. Let's see if we could actually even find maybe this location right here. Yeah, I'm thinking it's that housing area right there, but let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. maybe 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 houses. 24 houses. And this is a great Russian victory. Just saying. That only lasted 4 days. Yeah, I can't say that on stream, Adam Rounds, but oh yeah. Russian kamikaze drone operator attacked his own soldier who was about to surrender. You know, with friends like Russians, who needs enemies? So he was going to surrender, and his own drone operator attacked him. Drone attacks family working in Kherson as they pick watermelons.
Дрон на машину летить! Тікайте! Тікайте! Тікайте!
That's my toe you're nibbling on.
Тікайте! Малого! Сука! Збили! Ура! Збили! Збили! Поїхали!
I want watermelon. 2 a.m. stream for the night owls. It's only 1 a.m. for me. Been going since 10:15, 10:20 or so. We are getting close to wrapping it up. Repelling of Russian mechanized assault near Novo-Ekonomishne in Donetsk. Show you guys where that is at. Right here on the outskirts of Mirnograd. Thanks, Adam. I appreciate that. And it figures since you're in the #1 fan spot on YouTube. And of course, having to make sure that the Russians cannot go back, pick up that equipment and reuse it. Down to 55 more posts to go. I think this would be a good time to remind everybody that we are fundraising with Cars for Ukraine. Oh, wrong one. So we have reached a total of 1,532 euros towards the next truck for the 5th Border Guards. These are the guys we're fundraising for.
Ми військовослужбовці підрозділу Прайм 5-го прикордонного загону. Зараз знаходимося на Сумщині та стримуємо наступ ворога. Потребуємо мікроавтобус для виконання бойових задач і очищення українського неба від ворожих крил. Звертаємось до команди Car for Ukraine та Бандера Мобіль з проханням допомогти з закупівлею, підготовкою доставкою авто, а також до Renegade Changus та Канті Людан і їх спільноти з проханням допомогти підтримати збір. Слава Україні!
Героям слава! That's awesome. I love. I can't. I don't know. I can't put it in words. So of course, me putting my donation in for 100 euros and covering the transaction fees. Darpat, thank you for providing us with a way to support Ukraine. And from Anana Moose, Slava Ukraina, free all Ukrainian defenders, return all Ukrainian children. I have a feeling I know who that's from. They just did not put their name on it because, well, right there. So Haji, sneaking in anonymously. And all the other support for Cars for Ukraine. Technically, we did not kick off this campaign until the 2nd. So we are on the 6th day of the fundraiser. We came in late to the Summer Sunshine campaign with 27 donations so far. And we have slid into 9th place of the overall fundraiser. Lord Hardtrasher in 8th. We easily can pass him up. And if we even get close to Silicon Curtain, gotta show this. So, Beaver Sweet Hot Mustard. This stuff is hotter than my horseradish and so much tastier. It's kind of like honey mustard with a kick. Very good flavor in small doses. When I'm taking a spoonful, yeah, the heat definitely takes over the flavor. So when we hit 2,000, I'll be doing another spoonful and a spoonful for every 1,000 we reach. If I need to go to the store and get a bottle of something and have a drunk stream one weekend for donations, I've already done it once. Yeah. So if you go to my YouTube channel and go to shorts, I was able to clip this out of the last stream where we did a spoonful. Enjoy. I will tell you this, it tastes amazing, but like even the little bits that I'm cleaning up with my finger, and it's hotter than the horseradish. So before it drips, here's the first $1,000 raised for the 5th Border Guard. Oh, cried me. You can see when I started swallowing. It's not so bad until you swallow. Oh, shoot, I'm on the other screen. Yeah, it wouldn't be a Canty stream without a Canty mess up. So let's do that again. If you want to watch the full thing for yourself, you can check it out there. I'll put the link in chat.
Little bits that I'm cleaning up with my finger, and it's hotter than the horseradish. So, before it drips, here's the first $1,000 raised for the 5th border guard. Oh, cry me.
So, getting the honey mustard flavor right there, and then you'll see, yep, right there's where I swallowed.
Okay, it's not so bad until you swallow. Oh. 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 Giving night.
If you want to watch the rest of that, you'll have to go to the link and watch it. Or if you want to see it again, we only need another, oops, still on the main one. We only need another $468. And we'll do that again. Oh yeah, burnt all the way. Hey there, Chungus. Can we buy negative against the mustard? No. But you can donate to Chungus during Chungus's stream or myself. Believe me, if it was a bad thing, I wouldn't be doing it. You know, I had forgotten about Beaver's mustard until you guys had me look up stuff, and I enjoy it in small doses, like on hot dogs or with chicken. I love spice for flavor. Hot just to be hot, no. This is hot with flavor. I don't mind humiliating myself, torturing myself a little bit. You know, I won't say I'll do anything for Ukraine, but I'll do a lot. I'll do what I can. Again, $468 or euros to go to get to the next spoonful of Beaver's sweet hot mustard. I disagree, Mitch. Food should have flavor if it hurts. You know, look at coffee. Coffee tastes horrible. But let me put this link in chat, even though it is pinned to the top of chat. Oh, come on. So please, if you have the means and are able to, donate to the Summer Sunshine fundraiser with Chungus and myself with Cars for Ukraine, and help out the 5th Border Guard Prime unit. With that, let's get back to the videos, and let's get back to the air alert map. Glide bombs heading into Sumy, Kherson under air alert, as well as we come to the number of injured increased in Kharkiv to 33. the former Minister of Transport and the former governor of Kursk ended his life today. I wish I could say unfortunately, but it is what it is. Officially, explosions near Zhytomyr occurred due to illegal production of a mixture of explosives. A 60-year-old resident of Sumy region, together with 4 accomplices, established illegal production. The finished products were stored in premises unsuitable for this purpose, without any permits, licenses, or certificates, in close proximity to residential buildings in the settlement. The 5 defendants face up to 12 years in prison. Netherlands will deploy its F-35 fighter jets to patrol Polish airspace this fall, specifically to help protect aid supply routes to Ukraine. Thank you, Netherlands and Dutch defense minister. Russia strikes Kharkiv with up to 10 drones, 71 injured, including 7 children. The number is changing because people continue to seek medical help. There is another death in the Ministry of Transport, according to Schott today, right as his workplace in the building. The deputy head of the Land Fund Department stood up during a meeting and fell down dead. Doctors no longer able to help him. That's interesting. I have to look more into that, because that looks like a, get rid of the problem child instead of Detroit, become human. So I gotta ask, why did the robot cross the road? Those robots are made in China and shipped all over. Russia has been presenting those Chinese drones as great Russian advances in technology. Russian budget is getting worse. According to the results of the first half of the year, the Russian budget deficit amounted to 3.7 trillion rubles. The planned deficit for the year was 3.8. That is, in 6 months, we're approaching the annual value. At the same time, from 2022 to 2024, the deficit was at the level of 3.3 to 3.5 trillion. So 2 years worth of shortfall in 6 months this year. Keep up the sanctions, keep up the pressure, and Russia will have no choice but to end this war. Watch that one. Defense Forces South destroyed a Russian boat with an electronic warfare system installed. So Nathan During, there's a poll for you. And that right there tells me, Nathan, that you are a Russian troll. It's an invasion. It's not a special military operation. Russia illegally invaded Ukraine after promising twice to respect their territorial integrity. Yeah, Russia, go fuck yourself. Okay, he could have meant that, you know, they exist. I'll give you that one. Russia's budget deficit reaches 2025 target level in half of the year. Again, Russia's ready to supply Iran with enriched uranium for peaceful nuclear use. Satellite images of the growing Albuka. Dormitories are marked in yellow. The workers and students will live. 72 such dormitories are planned to be built. The area where the new production workshops of the plant will be located is circled in red. Already 2 such workshops where parts for drones are assembled. The workshops in the image will be the 3rd such facility in that city. Well, Ukraine already knows this, apparently, and watch for drones in the future. Starmer and Macron are arguing over strategies for ending the war. At least it's on their topic list. Russia has begun to storm the Zaporizhia region along with the entire front line. The task of the Russian army to reach the Mariupol highway, disrupt the logistical support to Donetsk, take Orkhiv, reach Kamiansky, and then Konsumivka. Testing of new Ukrainian ammunition for drops from a heavy UAV bomber. This should be interesting. It's funny, he hasn't said a word since we called him out as a Russian troll. Ministry of Defense has codified almost 30 samples of ground robotic complexes and remotely controlled combat modules of Ukrainian production in the first 6 months of 2025. Way to go. Can't wait to see these new drones on the battlefield. Iran launches a website to crowdfund a bounty on Trump after fatwas call for his assassination. Okay, Iran's calling for the assassination of Trump and crowdfunding the bounty for it. When your country's so poor, you can't put a bounty on somebody you want dead and have to crowdfund for it. but apparently it's reached almost $22 million already. You know, if it wasn't a lifetime sentence, that would be very tempting. Warehouse caught fire in Russia. Another smoking accident. You know, someone needs to send Russia some ashtrays. Trump announces 25% tariffs on Japan and South Korea. Way to treat your allies. More video from the warehouse in Russia that caught fire. I believe that more than that headline, Mitch, that Starmer and Macron are disagreeing about how to deal with Trump instead of Russia. Russia's easy to deal with. Russia is the equivalent of a school playground bully. You show strength and they shrink. You know, kind of like Nathan did as soon as I called him out for calling it a special military operation. Destruction of a Russian grad with a full set of ammunition. Nice big boom. Wish there was the longer format of that one. Meeting with National Council of Switzerland. His speech. Israel is preparing for possible military action if Iran revives its nuclear program. Russians continue assault operations in Voschansk. Border guards from Border Post Brigade hit 2 tanks and 2 loaf vans, a car, and an invader who hid behind a tree. Oh, God. I hate seeing her face. The White House said the decision to suspend arms sales to Ukraine was made by Pentagon with the approval of Trump. The suspension is not specific to Ukraine, but as a part of a general review of military aid to ensure that such supplies are in the national interest of the United States. So, not even gifting Ukraine weapons anymore, not even selling them anymore. This is Trump. Yeah, Trump. Fuck Trump. Not that I would do it with Putin's borrowed dick, but still. Ukrainian engineers from the Wild Hornets Brigade continue experiments with the use of drones with grenade launchers to destroy manpower in the Russian armed forces. Ukrainian T-72B1 in action. Direct hit with turret separation on a Russian BMD. This should be a good one. Haven't seen a good turret toss in a while. Pretty good vertical. So figure trees, if you estimate the trees at 30 feet tall, and it's like 3 trees high, so almost 190 feet estimated. I'd definitely give that a 9 out of 10. Yeah, I actually caught that on the down slope, so probably 100 feet easy. Russian cosmonaut training in action. Been a long time since we've seen a good turret toss. Seen that from the Omega channel directly. Ukrainian soldier shoots down an enemy FPV drone with a pump action shotgun. So don't go duck hunting with this guy. He will get every single duck. Now there's the drone. There goes the drone. Nice shot. Weapons explosion, or weapons depot explodes in Syria. Elon Musk's father advised his son to come to Russia and expressed a desire to visit Donetsk and new regions of Russia. It's hard to, I know your guys were calling for the third party in chat. I don't know if I would accept Elon and his dad as a third party of America if this is going to be the driving force behind it. Trump, we are going to send some more weapons to Ukraine. We have to. They are getting hit very, very hard. So many people are dying. I am not happy with Putin at all. I am disappointed Putin has not stopped. It only has taken you 6 months to wake the fuck up. And that's why I don't cover American news. And that is all from Warriors Ukrainian today. With the translation not working, I'm going to just skip through Operational ZCU for now. Apparently Dennis is having a stream. A couple more posts from Omega Special Forces. Just a few pictures. So thank you all for coming to the stream. 1:30 here in the morning. Let's see if anybody is out there streaming. Or Mercado Gaming. Be sure to check out Chungus. My partner in crime and the Summer Sunshine fundraiser. One last update on this. Still at 1,532 euros. Let's keep it going. Get as far as we can before the main fundraiser finishes. And support the 5th Border Guard Prime Unit. I appreciate each and every one of you coming here. Even you, where you, Nathan Dunning, even though you pussied out and wouldn't keep communicating, you just kind of just disappeared. I wanted more troll. Anyway, please remember to hit the like if you like the stream. I should close the poll out and see where we ended up. 77 said they'd rather live in Ukraine. 22% said USA. And imagine that. The Russian troll didn't even stick around to vote for Russia. They might have cut off his internet, Gotta keep the internet under control in Russia, apparently. Yes. Before we go too far. 474 subscribers, 26 subscribers to go. So if you're not subscribed, please help and hit the subscribe button. Get us to a point where we can at least do super chats and other stuff in chat. Just need 500 subscribers to do super chats and other things. So memberships, super chats, and that'll be a nice, easy way to support Ukraine on the DL, on the cheap. Anyways, going from there, thank you all for coming. Have a good night. Stay safe, everybody. And most importantly, keep supporting Ukraine. And YouTube always having issues. Anyways, have a good one, everybody. Thanks for coming to the stream.